For the months of May and June, we'll be giving away 50,000 IOST tokens, along with 3 Ledger Nanos, 2 of them sponsored by Nimic, and 1 special edition Ledger Nano with an on-the-go kit. Winners announced July 1st. To enter, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on every video in May and June for your maximum number of entries. Hey Bit Squad, welcome back to the channel. The big news in crypto today is the CBS 60 Minutes report on Bitcoin last night. We'll be talking about that. Quite different than the John Oliver Bitcoin story from last year that basically killed Bitcoin and basically called us all crazy and in a cult, which may also be true. But, we'll be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about interest in trading returning. We're going to be talking about how to talk to your family and your friends about crypto. And we're also going to be looking at an article that was written about yours truly. So let's go ahead and get into the markets. Market Watch. All right, so the market in red today, but not the biggest deal. We kind of got a few things that are coming up that may affect the price. We're going to be talking about that involving the ETF decision. It's basically a giant meme at this point. But anyways, we have the market cap coming at 243 billion, Bitcoin dominance at 56.9%, been pretty steady lately. We have Bitcoin at 7,800, a lot of red, like I said. But if we look at the biggest winners of the day, we got some automatic gains with Matic Network. And interestingly enough, I was talking to K-Dub from Crypto Zombie at Consensus, and he told me, watch Matic. This is one to watch. And man, 75% gains. I said, yeah, when I get back to my room, I'm going to buy some. And I didn't. And now I'm just really kicking myself over that because it is just absolutely destroying everything right now. And this is not the only day it's had like this. It had 60% gains last week. It may have had 100% gain at some point. I can't exactly remember, but it has been on a tear for much longer than just the last 7 days or the last 1 day. Biggest loser of the day, Verge, ArcBlock, Decred, Aurora, Basic Attention Token, nothing over 10%. So not a huge red day. So let's move on to the news. Number 5. Okay guys, so I just want to take this opportunity real quick. This isn't really a news story per se, but it's really encouragement to you guys to get out there and talk to people about cryptocurrency. So, this week I had the opportunity to talk to 2 guys about cryptocurrency that, maybe had heard of it before, but maybe not, on the level that I explained it to them or talked to them about it. You guys know I love to talk. But so the first conversation did not go well. The guy is a little bit older and, he is really against the idea of Bitcoin. It's the same thing you hear from people, which is, it has no value. And yet those people don't understand that there's nothing that has intrinsic value. A green piece of paper has no intrinsic value, but yet that's what we assign a value to it as a society. Imagine when people went from gold to pieces of paper. Like, it's very similar to going from pieces of paper to digital money. Those people must have been very, very, very skeptical as well. So, sometimes when you talk to people, you do get, some resistance, and that's okay. Like, you can just explain it to them and just leave it as is. And if they get it, they're interested, they are. If not, then, they can just be on the outside looking in. And then the next day, I had an opportunity to talk to somebody that was much more interested and engaged with the conversation. And definitely I could tell that, he could at least grasp the idea of it. And I think a lot of people don't understand all the stuff that's going on behind the scenes with cryptocurrency that we see. We see all the regulation, we see, governments getting involved, we see big name CEOs and CTOs moving from fintech over to cryptocurrency. We see billion-dollar companies in cryptocurrency. So, there's a lot to be excited about, and I just feel like it's our duty to become Bitcoin and cryptocurrency evangelists. If you have an opportunity to talk to somebody, you should do it. And, just make sure you're explaining it in very, very simple terms. So if you're brand new and this is the first video you're watching about cryptocurrency, then, you might not want to do that. You might want to learn first. But for those that have been here over the whole bear market at least, or, the several months, whatever it might be that you've been in cryptocurrency, I think we have a responsibility to talk to people because number one, it gives them an opportunity. Number two, it helps bring people into the space. So just really want to encourage you guys to reach out to people and just look for an opportunity to bring it up. And if they seem annoyed by it or they hate it, then, you can talk to them about it, but then drop it and just know they're not a person you'd want to talk to about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency with in the future. But, I think you'll find that a lot of people are very, very interested in this. Number 4. Okay, so I found this article called Making Cryptocurrencies a Real Option for Business. And it was basically talking about how Bitcoin has been less accepted by retailers and online merchants over the last few years. And the reasons for this is stability. Obviously, the price goes up and down. Regulation, there's a lot of questions about what is coming. And acceptance. So, still a lot of people don't accept cryptocurrency. A lot of countries in general say it's bad. I mean, we look at what Brad Sherman said the other day. And I think that these are all true, specifically when it comes to, cryptocurrency in general. However, I do want to take this time to say that I don't think that Bitcoin is going to replace the US dollar. I don't think that. Now, there may be a digital coin that does it, but I don't think it's gonna be Bitcoin for the simple fact that I believe now, I've come to believe that Bitcoin is a better option as a asset hedge, like something to hedge your value against, traditional markets and things like that, i.e. replacing gold. It makes sense. The supply is limited. We know the exact, amount. And here's the thing, guys, even if all three of these things get worked out, stability, regulation and acceptance anyways, the problem is I don't think the stability is ever gonna get worked out. I think, maybe 10 years down the road, but the stability is gonna continue to go up and down. We're gonna continue to have market cycles and you're not gonna wanna spend your Bitcoin. So I think that it's really time for us to start having conversations about, if Bitcoin is not going to be the currency of the internet, like Jack Dorsey said, what is? And I don't know, guys. I've been looking at some options on some different cryptocurrencies that could be scalable and could be able to be spent, in a manner where people aren't scared to spend it because it might go up, 100x tomorrow or something like that. But let me know your thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Bitcoin will become the currency of the internet, or do you think it could possibly be something else? Because you don't want to sell your Bitcoin. You don't want to use your Bitcoin. I know you don't. And if you do, you only want to do it in a symbolic way to support the ecosystem. It would be against your will. Your will would be, I want to hold it or hodl or, as we say, but because you want to, you want to have more value down the road. That fits the argument perfectly for it being something similar to gold. So you guys let me know your thoughts. Drop your comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that. Number 3. All right, we were talking about Google interest on our last Fresh 5 video on Friday, and now we have more stats coming out about BitMEX. So if you don't know BitMEX, it is an exchange where you can do leverage trading up to 100x. It's kind of the crack cocaine of crypto trading, I believe. And, this is a chart showing the interest over time and how it has now gone up. Not necessarily considerably. It looks like it's up about 15% over, the high over the last year or whatever. But, this is good. This is good that people are now interested in trading. Now, could this be traders coming from traditional markets over to crypto to trade on BitMEX? It could be. However, BitMEX is banned for U.S. customers, so if you're in the U.S., you're not allowed to use it. There are some other options. We might look at that, in another video down the road. But, definitely something good to see more interest in crypto trading right now. Number 2. All right, guys, it's ETF meme/hopium time. Game changer for Bitcoin. Vaneck ETF decision tomorrow. All you need to know. Okay, guys, I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to give you the raw statistics, the raw projections, the gambling odds for what happens with this. So tomorrow, the SEC has to make a decision on the vaneck/SolidX Bitcoin ETF. Now, they have 90 days to submit a decision from when it was submitted, which was, back in February, after after the vaneck SolidX ETF had been withdrawn by them in order to avoid getting a denial. So I think they knew the denial was coming, so they withdrew it, fixed a few things, and then resubmitted it. So here is what's gonna happen. There's a 5% chance it's gonna get approved. There's a 5% chance it's gonna get denied. There's a 90% chance it's going to get delayed. That's what's going to happen. The precedent for the SEC is to delay these decisions. Now, the only way, in my opinion, that it gets approved is if basically all of the research that they had put in during the last, when the last proposal was submitted, they had kind of already decided to approve it if vaneck had just, changed a couple things. And so they told them what to fix, they resubmitted it, they looked at it for 90 days, and so they may already, know that they're gonna make that decision. I don't think that's the case. The precedent with almost all ETFs, not just Bitcoin, but also with like copper, shipping containers, they always delay these decisions to the last second. You think about the people that are on these financial committees, do you know an accountant? Do you know a CPA? They're like the most detailed people ever. And so it makes sense. They want to have as much detail as possible. And they also tend to be, people that are very slow to make decisions because they want to make sure they have all the data. They've looked at everything. They thought about every scenario and things like that. So that's why I don't think we're going to get, an approval or denial tomorrow. So to me, this isn't even a big story. If it does get either one, it'll be absolutely huge. But I think it's a lot of, hype that probably is not going to result in anything other than a delay. And we're so used to delays now, I don't even think it'll affect the markets. Hold up, it's time for an IOST break. Okay guys, we got IOST here. IOST times blockgame, tier 1 mobile games launching soon. So here we go. We got 2 games coming. We have IOST Legend and Expedition 2. Where's it to? Expedition to Everest? Expedition to the Arctic? Expedition to where? I'm so funny, guys. My kids love me. So basically, those 2 games are going to be coming out. Legend will launch in late May. So as soon as this comes out, I will be doing a review on it, and you're going to watch the world's worst RPG gamer. I don't know if you call this an RPG, MMG, MMRPG, I don't know what you call them, but I'm going to play it. I'm going to do a review on it. I'm going to call it the non-gamers review. So if it's not a football game, I pretty much don't play it. I do like Mortal Kombat pretty good. So here we go. We also have the Expedition 2 game coming out in early June. Oh, here it is. Expedition 2 is a 3D more double interface mobile game. I told you, I knew it was like a lot of initials. So it's based on proof of work with a theme of fantasy. Wow, guys, look at that right there. Proof of work. Wow, these games are really getting complicated with their consensus algorithms. I don't even know what PAL means, honestly. So anyways, I'll definitely be checking both these out and, see if we can play some of these games. I really want to play some and get into them for the community. We'll see what happens. It'll probably be funny. Like, what's the guy, the angry video game reviewer or something like that? That's basically what I'm going to be like playing these games. Also, hey guys, we got a Medium article written about your boy, BitBoy, right here. IOST's highest contribution partner in Q1, BitBoy Crypto. So, basically this is just an article about how I got involved in IOST, my goal and things like that with it for the community, which is, it's really cool to be able to not necessarily have this article about me, which, that's great, but just to know that I've been so accepted by the IOST community, and I honor that. Every day on my French 5 videos, you guys get this IOST news. People reach out to me on Twitter, on Telegram. They ask me questions about IOST, and they'll tell you I'm always there to answer them. I will always answer your question about IOST. It's my job. It's my duty. I am trying to, honor the commitment that people make to me when they vote for my node. So, this is definitely a pretty cool article, and, I did something really interesting. I had it basically an AMA. First time I ever have done an AMA, which was really interesting, on WeChat. So WeChat is a Chinese app, but you can download it in the United States. I didn't even know you could, and it's all Chinese. So they're all asking questions in Chinese, and there's a translate button, and you hit translate, and then you answer. So, that was in coordination with the launch of this article. So just wanted to kind of shout ICAC out. They're an IOST node as well. So go check them out. Go check the article out. I'll put the article down below in the video description if you want to read it, or more importantly, if you want to look at my face. Wait, am I looking the right way? Same guy, believe it or not. the number one crypto story of the day. Okay, so the top story of the day, Bitcoin's wild ride. So last night on 60 Minutes, Anderson Cooper interviewed Charlie Shrem and Laszlo from the famous 10,000 Bitcoin pizzas that he purchased, which don't worry about that guy. He's still got plenty, I'm sure. But, it was interesting to see the tone, because if you compare the tone of this story to the tone of the 2018 John Oliver hit piece on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, then, you would see that there's a drastically different tone. It's still skeptical. There's still an amount of skepticism towards Bitcoin and crypto in the story. However, it's not accusatory. The stories we've seen in the past have been, you're crazy if you're in this. The tone of this is, I don't know, maybe there's something there. That's what it seemed to me. So you guys let me know what your thoughts are on the story if you've seen it. If not, just Google CBS News, Bitcoin, it'll come right up, and watch it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you thought about the portrayal of Bitcoin. I mean, there's no reason for me to really go into the actual content of the piece, because if you're in crypto and you've been in it for any amount of time, then you pretty much know everything that they were talking about. You're really just watching it to see the tone. You're not watching it for the content, if that makes sense. So, I definitely used bitinstant. It was interesting to hear Charlie Shrem talk about, how he started it, and it was a huge success, like from the first day. So very interesting to hear how he made his money. He was talking about how he was basically a kid who got picked last in dodgeball, and he went to, to being the owner of the team. That's what it felt like to him. He said he went from having no confidence to a huge ego. We know he definitely got humbled, spent some time in prison and things like that. But, let me know what your thoughts are below. Drop a comment, like the video, make sure you're a subscriber for your chance to win our contest going on right now. BitBoy out.